Hey everyone. We're having all sorts of technology problems here. Give me one sec. It doesn't like that cord, I can guarantee you. Hey everyone, give me one sec. Hello. Hi everyone. We're back. We might be problems, but bear with me. Gotta love technology. I would just go get another cord really quick. So while Sean's trying to get a cord, I'm not gonna be able to see a ton of comments, but Christopher should be joining, but I am back at this point until we figure out everything here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you, we are starting the video over again, so let me just jump right in from the beginning. Down below you'll find all the links of everything, and you will also find the sales to Cricut and Silhouette. So make sure you check out down below. There's some great sales and everything. So please let us know also how everything's going. I'm on our Wi-Fi, but it sometimes can be a little shaky this time of the evening because everyone's on. So I do apologize in that. Hey everyone. So what you missed in the beginning, if you're just joining and didn't see the first video, is we did stamp using the Brutus Monroe Seattle stamp set, which looks like this bad boy here. And we used embossing ink and we used Raven embossing powder. We used our heat tool and we're good to go. So we are starting the coloring part. So we are going to be doing some coloring. Now, the part I'm coloring is going to be this bottom part. We actually had to do two of these. The reasons why we're going to be cutting this apart to make kind of a shaker card. So we're doing this down here. So I'm going to walk you through how to color that. Sean's here to watch comments again with the mic. They said the sound is much better. Yay! So I'll walk you through the colors I'm using for this bottom. It seems like a lot, but it is, I use the Zig Real Brush markers. And I am using brown, deep red, mid brown, and then dark oatmeal, and we will be doing just a touch of black. So we will actually start on the top here, which is a little different than the bottom here. This is the top that we're going to be doing. So that color is, we're going to start with is the brown, and I use the bottom here kind of to test my colors to see if that's the color I'm looking at. And we will also be using one other color. Here it is, brown. Making sure I have all my colors. I used a lot of colors coloring this little card, you guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. And we're going to start all the way in the back because that's where this is. And what's nice is because we use the embossing powder, it does a little bit of the shading for you because your ink will kind of pool where we embossed, which is really nice. So we're going to start kind of right about there.
Christopher's back.
Hi, Christopher. We had technology problems. Sean and I almost got a divorce. You missed a lot. We'll work it out in counseling next week. I'm just kidding, guys. But I'm the type, if things don't go well, I kind of have maybe a little bit of a meltdown, which Christopher probably knows about me. I'm working on it. You're amazing, Sean.
Thank you. You too. Look at what you're doing. You're completely amazing. All
right, so now that I have that first color down, which is the brown, I'm going to take the deep red, and we're just going to hit these back areas here. So kind of back here, and we're going to bring it till we get to about, right about the same spot, right about there. We're not going to worry about blending right now. We're going to be doing that in the very end. And at first, I know people are like, wow, that's a lot of colors you're using, but you'll see when we actually start blending, it will all come together. Mid brown, once again, we're going to go way in the back here and kind of bring it up through here, and same back here. And now I'm going to take this one, which is dark oatmeal. I kind of swore I had another color, but maybe not. And what I do on this one, actually, no, I'm lying to you guys. It's this one. Yeah, sorry. So now I'm going to pick up those colors in the back by just kind of doing little circle motions. And what that will do is it will pick up all of these colors on this color here, and it will start to blend it and bring it forward. and you're going to go until you get to just about the middle. So what that did for you, just so you guys can see up close, is it picked up all those dark colors, and as you brought it up, it kind of just blends it naturally for you. So you can see right there, it's a nice blend. And what you want to do is just clean your brush down here, get all those colors off, and we're going to do the same on this side here. So just do circle motions, pick up all those dark colors in the back on your marker tip, and bring them forward until you get all those colors out of there. It'll start going down to a lighter color, and it does that shading for you. And what's nice, because we use that embossing powder, it's doing natural shading for us. So we don't have to worry too much about our shading because it does a lot of it for us with that embossing powder. We're going to close it here, and then we're going to add some lowlights and highlights here. All right, so now I'm going to go back. This is the part people freak out, and just do a tint of black. So we're going to add that in the back here just a little bit. We're going to add it in the back here. And then once again, we're going to grab this, which is our deep red. We're going to pick that up once again and kind of do some circle motions up to the center here. Same on this one. Bring it kind of forward. And that black just makes that deep red just a tinge darker, which is what I wanted. And once again, we're just bringing it to the front. We're basically manipulating that color to the front. I always clean my brush down here, so that's why I don't cut it too early, because I want to clean it. And we're going to end once again with this brown color. We're just grabbing colors from the back, bringing it forward until we get all those colors off, which is about center.
So these markers' names again are called what?
You should know.
These are called the Zag.
Zig.
Or Zig, sorry, Z-I-G. Clear color.
So there's Zig Real Brush, or Clean Color Real Brush. All right, so you can see how it just did some nice shading there for us. Sorry, when Sean moves, it moves that camera because he's attached to a microphone. Sean looks up ultra confused.
Hi everybody. I shouldn't have moved because it's taped.
You're so funny. Sean's having a hard technology day. All right, so we're going to do the same thing again, guys, on the bottom here. So just going to bring this mid brown, lay down all my color. Just like that. And we'll add our deep red on top of that. Now this piece here, I'd say I spent the most time coloring the base here because it's the first thing you're going to see on the card. So for me, it was important to get the base with a good color. Up here, obviously we want good color, but it's not as, that's going to have some glitter on top of it and things, so we're not as worried about that.
So Robin, these snow globes are from the Brutus Monroe stamp series. That's Christopher Allen, who's in the room here. And then somebody asked, do we have snow here in Spokane?
We do.
Not very much. It was in the 40s today, in the mid 40s today. Very warm and sunny.
It wasn't warm. I mean, it's warmer than it's been.
It's way too warm for this time of month.
Is it?
Yep. We should still be in the low 30s.
Oh, well, shows you what I know. All right, so I'm not going to waste too much more time because I know you guys we have a time limit, and since we started kind of late because of our technology issues, we'll move on. What I will like to do, because these are water brush markers, they tend to take a few minutes to dry, so I will hit it with my heat gun just so I don't, because the problem is if when you're coloring, if you touch this with your hand, you're going to transfer your coloring. So I always like to try to hit it a little bit. All right, so we have that done, and now we want to do the centerpiece. Now the centerpiece is we're going to add dark oatmeal to it. So that's going to be where you get that kind of lighter color. And we're going to be using a little bit of brick beige to add some different colors to that. So let me grab all my colors here I'm going to be using for this. and we have regular beige, which is our main color. Those are the 3 colors. So I'm going to start with just adding beige to the entire middle part here, and then we can add some different colors in there to get a more consistent shading look.
We ordered, I believe he ordered the Ranger, it just hasn't gotten here yet.
What?
Right? Your Ranger dryer, hair dryer?
Well, yes and no. I'm kind of now waiting to do a mass order with his other stuff coming out. So, but yes, I do have it on order. I like it. The Fun Saber Journey one is great. It's just a little bit more expensive and shipping and stuff. So that's the reason I want to give other people options. So I have my first color down, and now I'm going to add some more of this brown color. We're just going to add a little bit of brown in the back here.
Robin, these are water-based.
They are. I'm not a big alcohol-based guy. I just haven't found a marker I really like, and I've even tried Copics. They're nice. For me, I'm not the best color when it comes to blending. And these are very forgiving because they all basically have a built-in kind of paintbrush towards the top. And on this paper that I'm specifically using them on, they blend beautifully. They take a lot of the work out for you. So as long as you keep, you know, cleaning the brush head like that and basically pick up your color in the back and bring it forward, to me, these are great for beginners, great for people that are not that great colors on blending, because that's one area I'm just not really comfortable with alcohol yet. So these are perfect for people that aren't.
I've even done a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're very forgiving. All right, so that's all we'll do on that. So we have a nice, good blend of colors and kind of really focus on that Seattle word. And what's nice, because we did that embossing powder, it does a lot of the shading for us. We don't have to worry too much about it because he's done a lot of that crisscross. They kind of remind me of the Tim Holtz Dogs and Cats because a lot of the shading's in there. It kind of gives you a guide for your shading. You know kind of where to put your colors down. So this one we're going to put off to the side, let it fully dry, and all we're going to be doing now on this one is the inside Seattle. This one will go a little bit quicker because it's a little... we don't have to worry too much. So for the mountain in the background, we're going to be using 3 main colors and then add just a tinge of black at the very end. So we're using May Green, Green, Light Green, and then as we get to the very, very bottom of the base, we're going to be using Pale Green. So those are the colors, and I'm going to start with the darkest, and we kind of have to create our own snow cap. Now, technically, if you were to look at Mount Rainier and like a magazine or something, it's not as green as I'm making it. It's more just kind of
blackish brown.
Yeah, it's kind of a blackish brown, which who wants that? That's not very fun. So once again, I'm just laying down my first color, which is the darker green, and it's up to you if you want to color inside the Space Needle. I do, because technically, if you were ever to look at the Space Needle, you can see through those. They're not like a color. So once I have that dark green down, I'm going to go to my next green, which is the May Green. And once again, I'm just going to pick up that dark green and start bringing it down until the dark green leaves, and you'll start seeing that change here. So that's the key with these markers, in my opinion, is really working with the color you just put down, and then in between you always want to clean the marker so you don't, because what will happen if you don't clean your marker is if you have too much of a dark green on there, it will start contaminating the next one that you start working with. So I always clean it even before I, and let's see here, and we're just following kind of, once again, Brutus Monroe's already did some of the shading, so we can kind of see where we want a little bit of the darker green versus the lighter green. So that's my kind of tip to you, is always use stamps to the best of your ability, because they do a lot of the shading for you. All right, so light green. Oh, Sean, it's time to play HQ. Have you guys played HQ yet? Anybody here know what I'm talking about? I'm obsessed with it. Me and Sean are obsessed.
It was very fun. We played it last night.
Anybody play it on their app?
Missed it by 1.
Yeah, we missed it by 1. We would have won $20. Everyone's like, what are you guys talking about? So it's this new app. This is not craft related, but it's a new app on the phone, and you can join millions of people in answering like questions. Like they're like this guy comes on live and he starts talking to you, and there's 13 questions, I think, and if you make it and answer all 13, you split whatever that pot is. So last night it was $10,000, Sean?
10,000 and was it 422 people won? So they all won about 22 bucks.
Yeah.
But you're saying that they had 1.3 million people playing.
And so it's kind of funny. You're like, I just beat all these people. Like I'm amazing. I have to admit, Sean knows his stuff.
A couple worse guesses, but not too bad.
It's really fun. It's kind of addictive. But you have to do it live. It's like a live broadcast.
Is there a link for Tim Holtz's craft mat yet?
No, it's not out yet. He just previewed it on his channel. I think he's going to be saying, I think he said they're coming out in, was it February maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah, so, all right, so we're finishing the bottom here by just doing this light green along the bottom. Just like so. And then what we're going to do is add some, there's tiny little bushes. I don't know if you can see them. So right along the base there, there's these tiny little bushes. And we're just going to use the dark green again. So this is the darkest green. And I'm just going to color those in. There's also little bushes along some of the buildings. Now a lot of this will be covered up by our glitter. So, you know, if you don't get it just perfect, it's fine. Once again, these are forgiving. Even if you did go out of it a little bit, you can blend it out with another color. All right. So, here we go. Now, also on this card, there's some water because obviously Seattle is a coastal city. So we're going to color in the water. And the colors I use on that are going to be Parisian blue, deep violet, and this shadow mauve, really light blue color. And we're going to start with this one. I'm going to go with the dark blue first, and we're going to add the purple just at the last.
Brittany was asking, are those markers expensive, and do they come in a full set?
So when I originally bought these markers, I bought the
60, wasn't it? 60.
They have now an 80, which I think is $104. I think they're worth every cent. These markers, in my opinion, I tried Copics, I tried Chameleon. I haven't tried Brutus Monroe markers yet. He has a whole marker set that people are raving about, and I haven't gotten my hands on those yet to try.
Which ones are those?
I forget the name, but he's the only one that carries them. I know that. All right, and we're just adding a little hint of the deep violet at the top just to give it some depth there. So you have those colors there. If you want to, you could blend it down a little bit. Once again, though, if you're going to do this, you want to make sure you, especially since we're using this light blue, you want to clean the tip of the brush, because if not, you're going to get, like, you could potentially just get streaks of purple, which would be super sad. All right, so we have the water done. The last part is the buildings. Now, the buildings, you want to make sure you use a whole bunch of contrasting different colors. You could do them all one color, like a lot of grays and stuff, but I wanted it to kind of mix it up a little bit. So I'm using a wide variety of browns and grays, oranges too. So we have so light brown again, cool gray, mustard, and blue gray. And this part, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Don't think too much about the buildings. I always just kind of start with my lighter colors. I'll color the entire building. And then I will go back up with my darker colors. On these buildings, you do not want to add a lot of the darker colors, because what will end up happening is you're going to get it flooded with that darker color. And because we've used that embossing ink, powder, excuse me, the embossing powder does a lot of the shading for you. So I'll start by coloring in the entire building, and then I'll take my darker color. So in this case, it's the gray, and I'm just putting a little towards the top here. And then I will bring it down by doing this. And this gives it kind of a little bit of a different, kind of a brownish color. And then that's it. I'll move on to the next building. And I'll just keep doing that, using blues, light blues, dark blues, to give it kind of different from each building. And that's the thing is you don't want too much brown, you don't want too much blue and stuff. I kind of want the buildings to be different. Because really, the focus of this should be on the Space Needle and Mount Rainier. They should have done, technically right in front of this is the Isn't it, what is it, the Highway 99?
In front of it? Should
Yeah.
be. Well, that's going to be going away since they're building it underground.
They are?
Mm-hmm. How do your markers compare with the Tim Holtz Distress?
These markers I'm using? To be honest, I've never used Tim Holtz Distress markers. I've never... I mean, because I fell in love with these markers, and so I bought his crayons, I bought a lot of his stuff, but I've never bought his Distress, so I can't answer that for you, I guess. I know a lot of people love his stuff. If anyone in the room has used both, I know a lot of people in here have used real brush markers as well, so if you want to pipe in what it is, you can definitely do that. The only reason I like these is, in my opinion, they're very, very, very forgiving. So if you tend to mess up or you're not really good with your shading yet, you can, using the right paper. Now, I only use these on Bristol paper. I think that by far is the best paper to use these on. What do you need, Shawnee?
I was going to grab it.
Oh, here you go.
Belinda, Creativation does not start until this upcoming weekend.
We'll be there.
We'll be there on
Make
Friday.
sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and sign up alerts because we're going to be going live a lot. We've already checked their Wi-Fi to make sure we have good Wi-Fi so you guys can see everything. I'm super excited for Creativation this year. Last year was our first year. And we had fun, but it was a little bit overwhelming in trying to, you know, when should we go live, what companies, and we got a good feel for it. So we are super excited for this year, Sean. So I'm just going to quickly color the other side of this city, and then we can
do your sky.
Do my sky, and then actually do the shaker portion of the card, which will go pretty quick, actually. It's not too hard. Is there anything, just out of curiosity, besides, because I know I've been watching the Tim Holtz stuff, but what else have you guys seen that you're excited for Creativation? Anybody else seen anything? I saw some of Diane Reevely went live, and she has some pretty cool stuff. But I don't know what else is out there. Sean doesn't know anything until we get there. He's like, he has no idea really what anything is. He just thinks you're like last year.
Adam's going to be at CHA too.
Who?
Adam. It just says Adam. He says, I can't wait to meet you guys there.
Oh.
So great. Okay. We'll be there.
Cool. So one of our things we loved last year was the diamond dots, and it sounds like they have something new this year called No Count
Cross Stitch.
No Count Cross Stitch. So we're looking forward to that.
That'll be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to do a darker building back here. Let's go dark. And Brutus Monroe will have, last year he was, I think, in someone's booth, and this year he has his own booth.
Sweet.
So I'm excited to do a live video there. Melody won't be there this year, though. I mean, she didn't have a booth, but she was walking around last year, so she won't be there this year.
Nope.
She will be in her nice, warm Florida
residence watching us. We hope.
Maybe she has other people she wants to watch and support, Sean. It's not about us. But when we get back, we are doing some cool contests, so stay tuned. And now it's quiet. All right.
Heffy Doodle, Gabby says. It's a small stamp company. Have you heard of them? Heffy Doodle? Well,
but I did find out that there's in Ephrata, which isn't too far over here, there is something gang. Now I already forgot it, but it's something gang, and they have something called magic powder that's pretty cool. All right, so we are all done. We just need to do the sky. The sky is literally just Shadow Mauve. And once again, we're going to be cutting this kind of off, so you're not going to see too much of it. So you're not too worried about the bottom part. Your glitter is going to be covering that up. Oh, that's actually the mountain, so I need to get my green there. And if you did want to make it into a shaker card, you don't have to, obviously. You could just stamp this. And what's nice is the Stamp set has these already built-in bubbles to make it look like someone's already shaken it, which I really like. So you could definitely do that. I really like this whole set just because it is, in my opinion, very reminiscent of traveling. Everywhere I go, you always see a city with the snow globe in it and stuff. So I loved this set when it came out. Plus, I mean, if you live in one of those towns, how cool is that?
We lived in Seattle for a short time.
It was very short. I was not a fan. Not a fan at all, Sean.
Traffic is horrid.
Ugh. And their minimum wage keeps going up, which, I mean, for, I guess, people with minimum wage jobs is great, but I think they're up to like $15.50 an hour now. Isn't that crazy?
Well, that's mostly in the downtown area.
Well, but still, that's crazy.
Crazy, crazy.
Crazy, crazy.
What's our state minimum wage now? 11 something?
$11.50. All right, so we are all done. We're going to let this dry and the base dry, and we're going to start on the shaker card part.
Adam says the Hefty Doodle will be right next to Brutus Monroe.
Hefty Doodle.
Hefty.
Hefty Doodle. Were they there last year?
I don't know.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Brutus Monroe has dollar embossing folders.
He said that earlier in our when we first started.
So if you want embossing folders for $1, you can't go wrong. They're amazing.
Brittany's asking how long do these markers take to dry?
They're pretty quick. I always hit it with my heat gun, but they're fairly quick.
Like he just did this one. Dry.
I'm very happy you're rubbing that part and not the top part and ruining my... All right, so let's go ahead and start. We do need a base for this. I'm just using craft paper. You can get this from Silhouette or Cricut. And this just gives us a little bit of a stronger base to build our shaker card on. That's all it's for. And it kind of gives you a guide of how it's going to get put together. So we're going to start with that bad boy. I'm just using the Cuttlebug. And I use the magnetic mat, which I'm a big fan of. And I do like the fact that Brutus Monroe dies are black. Because most dyes are, you know, pink or silver or a lot of different colors.
Goldish.
Yeah.
Bronze.
Or bronze. That is our base. And now we need to go ahead and cut out these two. So we can cut out this one, which is going to be our base. So this is where it says Seattle. And I just use a little piece of washi tape because I want to make sure it's positioned. And this die, well, I'm going to be moving that. This die has a little bit of an offset. So when you're lining it up, just keep that in mind. It's not going to cut right on the snow globe itself. So there's about, I don't know how much of an offset, but
it's pretty small.
It's pretty small. Well, I mean, it's so right about. And then whatever part I'm going to not be keeping is where I keep the washi tape, just in case it has a strong hold and tears a little bit. So we're only keeping the bottom of this snow globe, so that's why the washi tape is on the top.
Thank you, Jamie. I was just about to answer that for Don. Yes, Brutus Monroe, which happens to be the name of his dogs.
It is. Which, when I'm talking to them on the phone and they're in trouble, Brutus! Brutus Monroe, get over here! And I'm always laughing, so I'm like, gosh, that's so weird. Because I know the company so well now, it's like, I get he's yelling at his dogs, but that's also the name of his company. It just cracks me up. You guys got to understand, me and Christopher met kind of right when the Cricut craze was going on. So a lot of people were just getting their Explorers, and he didn't have Brutus Monroe yet, and Ken's Kreations was just kind of starting, so he's come a long way.
Yes, he has.
We used to do Google Hangouts together back in those good days. Now, we're both so busy doing other things. All right, so we're just keeping the... oh, wait, we don't need to...
Oh, that's funny.
Worry about this, because that's my base. Duh. Oh, wait, no, but I still need it. I'm losing my mind, Sean.
The Cricut chat rooms.
Oh, Cricut chat rooms. Wow. That's a long time ago. They had exclusive... I did not line that up well.
You did not. I think it just moved.
They had like an exclusive Circle one too. So if you were a Circle member, you got access. Man, that was a long time. Ooh.
Somebody's chewing on something and doesn't like them taking it.
Yeah, our dog just growled. All right, So let's cut this bad boy out. And we need one more.
Acetate.
The acetate, yep. Sean answered it already. So, Cricut, I haven't seen, let me show you what I'm using. I haven't seen it in their store in a while, which is kind of a bummer. The craft paper I used, oh, it was Silhouette, so it's the printable adhesive craft paper. But this is their acetate, clear acetate sheets. It comes like this. I bought this actually at Joann's, I believe about 2 months ago. It's not on their website, but it actually just has tons of just acetate that you can cut. If you don't have this, you can use pretty much any clear packaging will work. Now, it will not cut 100% on the Cuttlebug, so I do have to take my scissors, which is not a big deal because a lot of it's going to be covered by parts of the stamp. So don't freak out because you're cutting through 2 layers of film and then the actual acetate. And we're going to be today using either a dryer sheet or that embossing buddy, because if not, your glitter will stick a little bit to it, which isn't a big deal, but if you don't have to have that, it's better. Alright, so you'll see here, we got a nice indentation, but it's not 100% cut. So I just use the amazing Tim Holtz snips.
And they're changing new color handles.
Well, it's because he's with Tonic Studios now. So a lot of this will just kind of pull away, like the bottom here you'll see. But once again, and we're not looking for perfect because it will be covered up, especially this bottom part. And just by running your scissors a little bit, it'll cut right through, see?
Angela thinks the Gemini would probably cut that.
It would. Here's the deal, is I don't know why I'm so stubborn on, I don't like getting out the electronic die cutting machine and plugging it in, and I don't know why. I'm crazy like that, but alright, so we have that. So you have that piece. We might as well finish all of our die cutting here. So we are going to be doing this on a...
Jamie, he went from the red handle ones is when he was with Ranger?
Stampers Anonymous.
Stampers Anonymous. Now he is with, he's with Tonic. So since he's now with a whole nother company, he wanted a whole nother color.
Well, and I'm sorry, they're black. I love black.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, so the background is from a walk in the park. This is part of the sale items at Cricut. So if you need cool scrapbooking paper, it's double-sided. And this card is going to measure, just so you guys can see here, this is a 5.5 by 5.5 square. So I will grab...
The black one or the blue one?
The blue one.
I think you missed... Oh, did you have it under the edge? I'm sorry, you had it right on the edge. You're right.
Oh my, how dare you question me?
I keep forgetting you have to go to the very cutting edge to...
You do not question me. What is your problem? All right, so we want to cut this. So we're going to be folding this. This is what we actually need. So we want this, since it's 5.5, this needs to be at 11 inches. And using the Caterpillar Pro has lines that I darken just by using black acrylic paint, which is much nicer because if not, they're kind of hard to see in my opinion. And then we're going to cut the other one at 5.5 inches. So right here. All right, and then we need one more, which I will show you why here in a sec. So we're just going to cut once again at, this one only needs to be 5.5 by 5.5. This is going to be the cover that we actually can put the, sorry, when I'm cutting, I don't know why I go. All right, so that will be down at that end. All right, so we can actually get some other things ready. So this here, because I have some fishing line here, that's the reason we're doing two there. We also need this black and white. The black comes from, let me grab this, comes from this one. Deluxe Paper Steel Plate. This is another Cricut one. And the back of them have solid colors. And that's where I got the black. So it's, I have some extra here. So this one, we're actually going to run through our Cuttlebug using Christopher Allen Brutus Monroe dies. He has these dies, which are called his foundation dies, and they are a stitched circle. And the measurements are on the site. I gave you the link down below. I want to say the largest of it is, gosh, I think this is 5.5 to be honest. Oh no, it's 6.5, I think. So the one we're going to be using is the second step down, I think. Yeah, and then we're going to be using this one here on, nope, this one. Oh, here it is. All right, so let me grab my...
I think you're on the wrong one.
What?
This is smaller than that.
Oh, sorry, love. You are correct. How dare I question you? Jeez. I'm so rude.
Make sure you got it right.
Nope, that's what you're here for. You're so good. So we're just going to run this through the Cuttlebug. And I'm going to run this through probably 3 times because I want to make sure that stitch goes through really good. The Cuttlebug does a good job. I just really like it to almost be cut into it because I actually will back it with white paper because I like the white paper to show through. So we have the black one and we need now a white one. So the white one, I'm just using some of my Bristol paper.
Do you think you'd break your Cuttlebug if you used shrinky dink paper? I think that's what that went by so quickly.
I don't know that the Cuttlebug would actually cut the shrinky dink paper. It would probably get an etch, but I don't think it would actually cut it.
The maker will cut it.
The maker will cut it, but I don't think it would break it. It just, you would hear a lot of cracking and crunching. It wouldn't cut all the way through. I could be wrong on that. I don't even know if the Gemini would cut shrinky dink paper because like the Cricut Explorer Air 2 will cut the...
Jill says it will.
Well, there you go. To be honest, I've never tried it. Oh man.
What?
Well, this one, I used ink at one time, so...
Well, you're not going to see it.
I know. Yes, you are. Look at it. Dirty. Dirty, Sean.
Uh-oh. What is shrinky dink paper? Well, Miss Justice, you remember that stuff called shrinky dink? You color all these things in and you put it in the oven and it shrinks the item down to a teeny tiny thing. That's what that is. That's an old 70s type thing.
That's 70s?
I think so. It's an old...
I remember when I was a kid, you would color it first.
Yeah.
When it was big, yeah.
Yep.
And then it would shrink down.
When you put it in the oven. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was awesome. I love this stuff.
That's what I used to call my old boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Does Cricut sell it?
Cricut does not have shrinky
Nope.
dink. I don't think anyone... Oh no, Silhouette does.
Silhouette.
They have a shrinky dink type of
now you
material.
can use your heat gun with it. Well, that's pretty cool idea. Thanks.
So I do want to cut a square. So this big square I'm backing on the black, and I'll show you why here in a sec. So once again, this is the actual cut, I believe, is 4.5. So we want a 4.5 square by 4.5. And I'll show you here why in one quick second. So I want the stitch. Without the stitch, you can't really see it, but if you put white paper behind it, it will make your stitch pop out. And I like that. So that's the only reason I do that. If you don't care about that, then psh, who cares, right?
Who cares? Just continue on.
Continue on, McCoy. All right, so we can start building our card. All right, so we're gonna start with this just by using just the Journey Bloom one, just because it's whatever was closest. You could use whatever your little heart desires.
Kenny, don't you have scrap paper to use? Robin asks.
So, you guys are gonna be so ashamed of me. Sean always questions me. I don't keep my scrap pieces.
Nope.
I shred them.
Unless they're at least a third size or half, he'll keep, but anything.
I used to keep all my scrap little pieces, and I had bins and bins. And Sean one day asked me, what is this? And I said, this is my scrap paper, and I'm going to use it someday, Sean. You wait. I never use it.
We're not using a guillotine cutter. We're using a
guillotine?
That's the one.
Ooh, I'm getting that, though.
Yes.
He's releasing, Tim Holtz is releasing through Tonic a guillotine. Are you okay?
I feel like I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, that would have been sad. All right, so we have these two. Let's go ahead and take these off to the side.
Belinda asks, does the magnetic plate hold the dies through the plastic spacer plate?
Oh, good question.
Good question.
Good question. So this is plate A. They sell a magnetic plate. So this here is magnetic. As you can see, it doesn't fall off. So if you have a flat plate like this, it will still...
The B plate.
The B plate, it won't move. So once you have your paper, you put that on face... I do mine face down. I should do it face up because it's a better hold. It won't move, which is pretty
That's
cool.
very nice of you, Nancy. Very cool. She donates a lot of her scraps to the daycare down the street.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Nice little idea.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and build the card up to the shaker card, and then we'll finish that. This is just Fun Stamper's Journey twine, and this is just breaking up the monotony of the back of the card.
And this is a waxed twine, isn't it?
It is. So what's nice on this is I'm just using it to on straight, but what's cool is if you did a circle, let me just show you here why I love this stuff. If you did like something like this and put it on the back of your card, because it's waxed, it keeps its shape. So you can do all sorts of cool stuff. And it's a little bit, I guess, I mean, I hate to use the word stiffer, but that's exactly what it is it's got a little bit of a...
Hey, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
My sister is in the house.
All right, so
Thanks
we are going to just use washi tape to secure it. So just right like that. You do not want to pull too tight when you do this, because if you pull too tight, because it's a wax based, it will cut into your card. So you kind of want to just get kind of like a looser look here, and then cut it here. Do not pull too hard. You'll see on my card here, right here, I ripped it by pulling too hard. I don't know if you can see that, but it's ripped right there.
Or it might indent it a little bit.
Yeah, so you do want to...
Thanks, Carol.
Be careful with that. So once again, I just use washi tape. You can do whatever you want, but I have tons of washi tape, and I'm not a big fan of this stuff. I know. People are screaming out right now because I know there is washi tape lovers out there.
Oh, yeah.
There is, Sean.
Well, you have a lot of it here.
Well, I thought I was going to be part of the washi craze, and I was not.
So it comes in handy for things like this.
I use it all the time for stuff like this. All right, so that's the reason we needed the 5.5, is because that's going to actually go right there. And if you want more of a condensed look, you can bunch it together like so, and then put your washi tape on the back. So let me do that real quick. I don't like how what that's doing. Not a fan, Sean.
Not a fan.
All of it should be in a nice straight arrow. All right, so we're just going to fold this bad boy in half. And if you have a bone folder close by, definitely use it because you don't want to have to refold it. All right, so we have the first two layers done.
I'm going to tilt your camera out because you're losing out on yourself. Sorry for the shake.
What are you doing? Don't get my belly.
Nope.
All right, so this bad boy, the black layer, is raised up from the back layer. So what you need to do is kind of get an idea of where it's going, because we are going to put some fun stampers, or we're going to raise it up using foam squares. But before we do that, every one of your city sets come with sentiments at the bottom. So this one says, sending love from and missing you. We're actually going to grab sending love from, and we're going to be embossing the top of this. So you're going to grab your stack platform, take off the Seattle stamp that we have on there. Before you do anything, what do we have to do with it, Sean?
We're going to put a little bit of that anti-static powder.
So this is especially important because we're using the alabaster white on this. And you do not want little fragments of that because, I mean, you can get it off with a paintbrush, but in my opinion, it just works better. You're going to position where this will kind of go, which is should be in the center for the most part. So let's kind of see. And I've seen a lot of people have different techniques on centering. Omar Toro of Awesome SVG Blogspot, he has a really cool thing that he does with washi tape to center his, which I should use because it's a great technique for making sure everything's straight.
Angela, yes, Brutus Monroe is going to make, he says there's going to be 8 more cities?
I think that's what he said.
8 more cities.
If he's not in the room anymore, how dare he leave me? All right, so before we do anything, we're going to pick up that so we don't have to reposition it. We can take off our white.
Somebody says they still have that I Got Sexy, You Bring Sexy Back song still stuck in their head.
Ooh, I'm bringing sexy back.
Yeah.
So then we're just using the embossing, the clear embossing ink. And we're going to stamp that.
Oh, 18 more this year. Thanks, Angela.
There we go.
I know it's hard to see, but it's there.
It is. You can see just a little bit if I get closer here. There it is. So now we're going to be using, like I said, the
Alabaster.
We're going to make sure we have a clean sheet because you don't want to get any of that fragment of black in your alabaster. And this is, once again, ultra fine, which is really nice when you're working with stuff. We're going to just flick it off.
And there it is.
There it is. If you got a little bit on your card, you can either take your finger or a paintbrush. Anything below a certain point, we don't care because the white's going to be covering it. So we're going to leave that right there. Pour our extra back into the jar.
Did you use the embossing buddy thing? He did, Brittany. Yes, he did.
Believe me, if you don't, you would know. White clings to everything.
Yes.
So I'm just using my heat embossing tool. This is the Fun Stamper's Journey. I'm going to get it hot on my hand. And then once it is good to go, we're going to hit it with our, and you'll see it go from a, I wonder if I can get you an angle where you can see this. You'll see it literally turn in front of your eyes from a powder to...
Yeah, it's hard from here.
It's hard to see at an angle like this. I don't want to burn it. There we go. There you go. Now we have a nice...
Embossed
label. All right. So next thing, we'll go ahead and start building the card up. So once again, you can use whatever you want for your adhesive. Thermal Web has another good runner too. I like their runner. Of course, I always love my Scotch ATG, right? Yeah. I used to call it AGT, which is America's Got Talent, yeah. I found out. That's embarrassing. So we're going to put this on like so. Figure out where this is going to be so you don't... So I just buy on a roll like this. It makes my life a lot easier. And kind of measure from that point. So we're going to need 4 of that size. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. If you don't get it perfect, that's fine. Now, I am an over foamer. So what does that mean? That means I would much rather put a ton of extra foam to raise it up, because what will happen, especially if you send these bad boys in the mail, is they will flatten on you if you don't use enough foam. So Sean will sometimes say, oh my gosh, you're putting too much foam on that. I'd rather have too much foam than not enough.
What's the brand of foam, Belinda's asking?
I have no idea. It's pink.
It's pink.
This is the one maybe Angela brought back from a craft show one time. Angela, if you're in the room, do you remember? I don't know if she remembers. So that was a year and a half ago. This thing was huge when she brought it to me. It was like that big, and so I keep using it over anything else. So I wish I had a brand, but it just came in a package full of a whole bunch of random stuff, I guess. All right, so that lines up perfect. We're gonna add some foam in the middle here. And then once again, I'm going to add some in the middle there, because if not, once I send these 2 cards off to whoever wins them, which I don't know how we're going to decide that. Sean, how are we going to decide who gets these?
I do not know.
Probably someone
I think I might know. I might have an idea. See if anybody's listening.
Sean has an idea. Shawnee has an idea. So, if you guys have never followed my blog, I am a fanatic of raising everything up with foam squares. I love foam squares. I don't know why. Is anybody else an addict of foam squares? I will raise things up. When I'm doing like paper piecings of like little dolls, I'll raise the head up off the shoulder.
I raise you up.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. This is my new favorite tool, and it's actually a baking tool. This is the Sweet Sugar Bell Pick Stick. So, sorry this live video is going a little longer. I knew it was going to be a longer project, but our technical issues probably didn't help matters. So we're just going to make sure that's centered. Does that look good? It's hard for me without putting my head in the shot. Looks good. And then I'm not going to raise this one up. This is just going to be where...
Terrence says, yeah, he can't make a flat card at all. Gotta have some height.
You gotta! And the foam squares
so much
do
better.
it. So we're just going to add this in, center it, and then we're going to build our shaker card. The shaker card's a little... It's not confusing. It's just... There is a little bit of some manipulation, and I'll show you that.
You're right, Terrence. There's never enough. Never too much.
What are we talking about?
Foam.
Nope.
Foam tape, foam
I
squares,
agree.
foam anything.
Well, hopefully that's straight. It's hard for me to see.
Looks,
is it? Uh-oh.
Now that you're moving it.
I really can't see, so...
Nancy says she gets her foam tape from hardware stores.
Ooh, I've done that. I've gotten them at the dollar store.
Dollar store, yeah, but they don't carry it anymore.
No, they do. It came back in stock.
Oh, did it? Okay.
But it looks different. I'll show you what it looks like. So the dollar store foam tape now looks like this.
Yeah.
So it comes like this, and so it's like on a roll, but it's in squares. But for
cool.
a buck...
Can't go wrong with a buck.
Can't go wrong with a buck. All right.
Bye, miss you too.
Okay, so we have our base. We have our, this thing. I always forget the name of that.
What's that?
That. You know what that is.
Acetate?
Yeah. All right. So all we're going to be doing is building this. So this is going to be the base, because this is what's going to be behind the acetate window when we're done. So we're just going to be adding this to our... and the only reason for the craft paper is it's going to make it a little bit more firmer on the card. Because once again, we're going to be adding a lot of layers to raise this up to get that in there. And we just want to make sure it's nice and sturdy, especially if we're going to be putting in an envelope. So we have that. The next thing is we have to cut out 2 pieces from this. We need the bottom that we colored. Here it is right there. We also need this ring all the way around. What that's going to act as is that's what's going to hide our foam tape when we actually raise it up. So we actually need from basically that point down. So you're just using your snips as best as you can to be very...
What are they doing behind
I don't
that
know.
door?
I don't want to know.
I might have to go look.
You might have to go look, Sean.
Yeah, excuse me.
See what those bad babies are doing.
I don't like the way that noise is.
Sean doesn't like it. All right, so we have this, and then we do need this entire here. Uh-oh. They are in trouble. Those dogs are in trouble. Now, what's nice on this is even though the black part of the ring is not very thick, because Brutus Monroe has allowed for that almost a little bit of an offset, it's going to cover our acetate when we actually do this next part, which makes it a little nicer. So it gives us enough room and play to put that around the snow globe, which is nice. So now we can get rid of this piece. We don't really need this anymore. Now we can build the actual shaker. So what we're going to actually use is this for the snow globe part. So this is actually going to go around the snow globe. So we have to raise it enough to be basically this bottom part, because it's got to match. We have to make it consistent. So I'm going to start by doing 3 of these, which seems like a lot, I know, but we do need to raise it up that much to match up with the acetate that's going around. So we're going to start with this. What is that? Oh no, bad dogs.
They got into a treat bag and ate all the treats.
Well, of course they did. They're dogs.
I know.
So I just kind of put them wherever to make sure it will get enough support. And we have to do probably at least 2 more. So we're just going to take all of these pieces off. And it's up to you what you want to do on the snow globe. I did mine to where it actually goes down. See how it's a little thinner at the top? You don't have to do that. It makes it a little tougher because think of it, the best way for me to tell you is like a cake. You start with a cake and it's very blocky and you have to start doing carving to make it the shape you want. And you're doing the same thing with the shaker card. And then, of course, they do like a nice coating on the top to hide all your crumb layer where we would be using our other thing. I'm thinking 2. We're going to have to do 3. That seems like a lot. This is going to be a thick card, Sean.
Oh my.
So whoever gets it. So I will give you one little piece of warning when you're doing this. If you tend to be a sweater like me, I know there's people out there like me, be very careful with this because even though this is a watercolor, because your sweat is water, it will activate your coloring.
Poor Brittany.
What?
They had a big plate of hush puppies and some other stuff.
What are hush puppies?
Cornbread balls, deep fried.
What?
I believe is what they are.
Why are they called hush puppies? I don't get it.
Gotta call them something. So they call them hush puppies.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, had a big giant plate for them, and she left for 4 minutes, came back, her 3 big dogs, and the little ones all got it.
Oh, no.
All gone. Kind of like Allie's dog ate the turkey.
Her dog ate a Bible, too.
Oh, that's right.
It was like a family heirloom.
Yeah, family heirloom.
Gotta love dogs. All right, so this will be it for this, and then we're going to do around the perimeter of the snow globe, which I'll show you here in one sec how we do
Belinda
that.
goes, you don't know what hush puppies are?
Never had them.
You
We
need
don't
to make
have them
some.
up here.
It is a very southern thing.
Crap.
They are, am I right? I believe they are a cornmeal, kind of like a cornmeal that's in balls and you deep fry them.
Why would you want to deep fry your balls?
Like they're like corn fritters, yeah.
Okay, so this next part is, it's not hard, but we're going to be taking our here, and it's going to kind of go around. You could do what I originally did, and I might go back to that because this is going to be a pretty thick card because I think I even need another layer. But basically, we're going to go all the way around, so you want to make sure you have it, or you can actually cut this, and it takes a little bit longer, but I like this better. So I think this will be good. Now, this is going to be white, obviously. So you want to make sure the part that has the tape is facing outside, but you still have the sticky part. So what you need to do is take your embossing buddy, and we don't want this to be sticky because all of your glitter will stick on it, which is not good because then you'll have glitter. And just take your embossing buddy and it will get rid of your tack on your tape. Because we're doing this sideways, we do not want that to be sticky, or like I said, your glitter will stick to it.
This is why Kenny would never eat hush puppies because he hates seafood.
What? There's seafood in him?
You eat them with seafood.
No,
typically.
no. Veto. Veto out. Okay, so.
But you can eat them just because too, so. They are pretty cool.
All right. So the thing I'm going to be using, this stuff is pretty amazing. It's from Beacon. It's called Fabric Tack.
Oh, we love the Beacon girls. We'll see.
And this is pretty, the reason I like this stuff is it's very fast drying.
Very fast.
Which we need for this, what we're using it for. Just, you want to put the glue on this, not on this. Do you know why, Sean?
Put on what now? I'm sorry.
You're going to put the glue on this versus right onto your
paper.
Yeah, why?
This way it doesn't ooze out.
Yep. Well, and you want to go very low amount because here's the deal is, once again, that's water color pen, so they'll reactivate with this glue and start smearing.
Yep.
Oh, look at all the dog hair.
So somebody asked, do you like cornbread? I think that was Angela.
I'm not, it's not horrible, but I'm definitely not.
I like a good sweet cornbread. We used to have a Kenny Rogers Roasters here at one point, and it was good. His was really good. Nice sweet with bits of corn in it.
See, this is why I love that glue. Look at that. It's already set up.
Nice.
Amazing. So you can see we have our snow globe on the side, and we have this. Now this is, the reason I didn't want to do this method originally, it will make for a much thicker card. See on this where it's not as thick, but for time purposes, it is a lot quicker doing it this way. We're going to give that a few seconds to set. I cannot stress it enough. You want to make sure that that side there had that embossing on it, because if not, it's going to be very sad for you and all your glitter is going to stick. Well, and now because I did that extra layer, I'm going to do one more layer of this. So this is just going to be a very
thick.
This might have to get sent in a card guard, Sean. We haven't used a card guard in forever.
I know.
Do you know what a card guard is, Sean?
Yes, I know what a card guard is.
All right.
We got some from, who sent us those last time?
Those are from the same lady who makes the Misty.
There you go.
So My Sweet Petunia. They're an amazing thing. All right. So it's still a little too high, but crap. Man, I have to put another layer. This is where different thicknesses of foam tape would come into play, because this is going to be a super thick card. Not what I wanted, but for time's sake, it will be a lot quicker. Because Sean saw what I had to do yesterday. The other alternative to this is literally
cutting
these down into little half strips. And have you guys ever cut foam tape? Not the easiest. And because this is a snow globe, we don't really care too much about down here. There's going to be a lot of essentially snow down there, but that's okay because it's a snow globe, right, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That probably wasn't my best job, but you know, when you're doing live videos,
go, go, go.
Go, go, go. All right, that's going to be good enough. So now this is where our acetate will come in place. We're going to be using the acetate here. It's going to go on the top here. And it's going to go then, of course, all the way to the bottom here. So we're going to remove all of that and put our acetate.
DeReese makes a little narrow foam strips. Perfect for shaker cards. We'll have to visit their booth.
I don't think they have, oh yeah, they have a booth. But I don't know if they'll have them there.
Never know.
So this acetate does have
a Teflon coated scissors Terrence uses when he cuts foam squares.
Ooh, I thought that's what these were, but they're definitely not working like they should, the Tim Holtz. All right, so this does have stuff on each side.
Protective cover.
Protective cover. So we're going to take off the first one, and you can either use your embossing butter, which will put a little bit of powder on it, so I don't tend to like that. So what I usually will do is I will just grab some bounce. Why am I doing this, Sean? This
will try to help keep it from becoming statically charged.
Yeah, so all of your glitter will stick to this.
Yeah.
Especially if you're using a fine glitter, it will stick to that. I have seen, like I said, people using the embossing buddy, which you can do. The only problem with that is you will get little fine powders. So if Sean shows the card that I made, which I'll show you here in a sec, the glitter will stick to it because I forgot to do that step when I was doing it. So, very sad.
That's the first thing I asked. Forgot to put stuff on.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the bottom on first, and then we're not going to worry too much about the top because we have to glue that into place, but I have to add my glitter in there. Now, on this one, I used a really fine glitter. I don't know if you can see that. And so when I shake it, because I didn't do that glitter or the thing, I have a little bit that sticks on top. Not too bad. You can tap it down. But Sean recommended using this.
Carolyn says if the clear pan pastel from that will work as well.
What? Oh, to not make it stick?
Yeah.
It will. Yes, she is right. Forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. So I'm just going to put he wanted these really fine beads, which are kind of fun. So we're just going to put that in there until we see too much. A little too much?
A little bit.
Okay. Let me dump some out.
Does the dryer sheet scratch it? Somebody asked.
All right. So, what do you think? Is that enough?
There you go.
All right. So, we're just going to do that. And now we can add the glue. Got some beads here that came out. We need to add our glue along here. Now, the key to a shaker card is what, Sean? Making sure everything's enclosed, because if not, you're going to have glitter coming out.
The glitter beads everywhere.
So,
yeah, these are actually like little tiny beads, which I think would look a little better.
So, once again, this is fast drying glue, which I love. And then we can take our top off. Let me go down at this end. So on the other one, Sean, why didn't you like the other one?
I don't know. I mean, I like it. I just thought a bigger bead would look a little better.
Oh,
will any type of beadwork work?
Pretty much. I mean, the thing is the heavier beads will make more of a fun shaker environment. Mm-hmm.
There were some
did I already take this one off?
Yeah, I wonder if you did it upside down.
Oh, no. Well, we're going to have to fix that, aren't we? Well, we'll just keep going for now, and I'll fix it later. So the next part is right there. Putting that on the bottom, so you have... I don't want to waste the time of your guys' time of taking that off, because I can still take it off. The glue isn't dried. And then the last part is the part we saved right here. And then that will hide that part. Sean's right, I did put that upside down. I can't believe I wasn't paying attention. So essentially that's your end result. That will go on the card like so. This one's much thicker, of course. And then here's your end result.
Nice. Somebody was just asking the name of this brand again.
Brand of what?
Your pick.
Oh, the Sweet Sugar Bowl?
Sweet Sugar Belle.
And the only reason I'm worried about that is on video it doesn't look bad, but in person you can see it's got kind of a cloud over it, which I'm not a fan of, so I'm going to fix that. But there you go. So then you have a nice shaker card with the city you're in. So if you want a more fine, this one's definitely more fine sand, you can see here.
There were some other ones that you had down there that would have worked too. They had some iridescent ones, some stars and circles, and
yeah,
that would have worked just as well.
Yep, it would have. And then this one, of course, is going to be a much more, you can hear the heaviness of that. So there you guys are, and I'll fix that one and finish it. And Sean, you said you had an idea. What was your idea?
See if anybody can remember. So those who would like this, if anybody can remember, what's my sister's first name? She was in the room.
Ooh, that's a
and
good
you have to spell
one.
it right. You have to spell it right.
You have to spell it right. You're so funny.
Renee is 1. And Angela Stovall is number 2.
So reach out to me with your addresses and I'll send them. If you want something besides Seattle, let me know. I'll make you a custom.
Whatever else we have.
Yeah,
whichever ones you might have. Yeah.
So make sure you guys check these out. They're awesome. I love them, especially from all the different cities. Like here's Boston and stuff. You could not do the shaker card. We could just do a simple one, which some people are not fans of shaker cards and stuff. So if you want a flat one, we can definitely do that. And for whoever won, let me know. If you don't want it shaker, I'll do it flat for you. So, all right, guys. They would make great ornaments. They would. So, lots of fun. The detail is awesome with the stitching on that. Make sure to visit Christopher's website. Once again, the code there, I think, is KK115. It's 15% off. And there's all these. If you haven't looked at the Orlando one, it is amazing. The Orlando one with the castle in the background for Disney fans is awesome. Don't forget the 15 or the dollar embossing folders. It's KK. It should be KK15.
For the Brutus Monroe.
Yeah, KK15. I know the Orlando, but you could not just ink that Orlando part and just do that's one option, is just put some tape over that and it won't transfer it over there. So KK15 is what worked. Awesome, guys. Well, you guys have a good day. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Cricut Mystery Box.
Yay.
So July Cricut Mystery Box. I can't wait to see it. So we'll try to fix it. We just need to find a better camera to get us back on camera, because I do like that too. We just need to figure it out. I think I have an idea, and we'll go from there. So we'll see. So all right, guys, thanks so much.
Bye.